Good morning. Can everybody hear me? My name is David Dyer. I'm the fire chief here at Union County. I'm also the emergency management director and the 911 director. And I want to first of all thank the chamber for having this event and everybody else that was involved in it to have this Remembrance Day on the Patriots Day, September 11th. I want to thank you all for coming here and helping us recognize and remember this. It's hard to believe that September 11th was 19 years. Makes you feel old sometimes when you think about that, but 19 years. It'll go down in history as one of the greatest days of catastrophe in American history and also of great loss. It'll also go down in history as a day of great heroism, of unification of the United States and of American patriotism. Everybody knows or have heard what happened on that day. If you were alive, you definitely know what happened that day. The United States of America was attacked by Islamic terrorists linked to Al-Qaeda. They hijacked 4 planes and they were bent on ruining the United States of America. They flew these planes into buildings, 2 into the World Trade Center towers, 1 into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and 1 crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. This terrorist attack, which was the largest attack on the United States and on our soil, took the lives of 2,977 people. That's hard to comprehend. Of those, 343 were firefighters. Everybody has their 9/11 story. If you were alive, you remember it, you know it, and I won't bore you with my story today, except for to tell you I was terribly on a transfer, as I always was, in Atlanta, and I had to listen to the entire thing on the radio. And that was hard to listen to that. Not to mention I had a partner who liked to talk, and I threatened to set him out on the side of the road in Atlanta if he didn't be quiet so I could hear every detail of it. But everybody can remember watching it on TV. They saw the smoke coming out of the North Tower, and they were a little confused about, wow, what's going on here? This is an amazing event. How are these firefighters going to put this fire out? How is this going to happen? They can explain to you the confusion that they had and the horror they had when they saw live on television the second plane come across the skyline and hit the South Tower. Everyone in the world knew that this was no accident now. This was a tragic event. This was a terrorist attack. We saw more on the news. We were all glued to the TV that we could be there. We heard that another plane hit the Pentagon. We heard that one crashed in Pennsylvania while the passengers were trying to take it over because they knew what was happening. Now, if it stopped right there, this would be a tragic event. But just as that was unfolding right before us, the unthinkable happened. One of the largest buildings in the world, the South Tower of the World Trade Center, collapsed all the way to the street of Manhattan. At that moment, when I heard that on the radio, I looked at my partner and said, a lot of firefighters just died. Because I knew they were in those buildings. Tragically, 30 minutes later, the North Tower followed. Now, as Americans, we had feelings about this. We were angry. We were confused. We were scared. What's next? We were uncertain. And frankly, we were numb. Nobody had witnessed anything like this. When you have a tragedy like this with so many lives lost, it's just too much to bear. It's hard to comprehend. Much less it's a terrorist attack on our soil, and 2 of the largest buildings in the world collapsed, killing a bunch of people, including firefighters. Now, as a firefighter and an American, we had those feelings. I had those feelings, but we had more feelings. We knew that we had lost some brothers. Because if you're a firefighter, you're a brother of ours. We knew we had lost some brothers. And we could relate to every firefighter that responded that day, every one of them. We knew that they were all probably thinking, this is the call of my career. This will be the call that I sit down and tell my grandkids about. Remember the time that the plane hit the World Trade Center? I was there, I was working, I was on the job, I responded. We related to that. But in the back of their mind, I guarantee you, some of them had the thought of, wow, this may be that call. This may be the call that I don't get to come home from, because nobody'd had any kind of situation like this before. But did they stop? No, they kept going. They went. They responded because they knew, not they had a job to do, but as a firefighter, they had it in their mind that I have got to do everything I can do to save as many people as possible. And if you think about it, they pulled off the greatest rescue and the largest rescue of all time. Tens of thousands of people were evacuated from those buildings. They got them out. After September 11th, everyone was remembered about the duty, the service, the dedication, and the sacrifices and dangers of the fire service and first responders. They went there and they performed that rescue they knew. And it makes me proud to be part of a profession that has the duty, honor, and courage that was demonstrated that day. So after 19 years, what do we do at 9/11? What do we do now? I think we need to move past the mourning and start to honor the lives that were lost, and we need to celebrate the heroes. We need to keep our promise. We need to keep our promise of never forget. We who were there and saw it and heard it, we need to remember the images. We need to remember the sounds, and we need to remember everything that happened that day, because we need to teach it to the next generation. We need to teach them what happened, what really happened. Don't let history be skewed. We need to tell them this is the facts, this is the events, these are the lives that were lost, and these were the sacrifices of that day. We must remember, because we're Americans, because we pulled together and we united after one of our greatest national tragedies. That's a lesson that should be thought about, looked at, and used today. We must remember because it's Patriots Day. It's a day to remember patriots and an opportunity to be a patriot. September 11th is not just a date. It's not just an event. It's taken on its own identity. It represents certain ideas and ideals of heroism, of American unity and the American people. It's a statement to our nation, it's a statement to the world, and it's a statement to ourselves that says we may have battles, we may suffer, sometimes greatly, but we will always unite and we will always overcome. I believe in that because that's the spirit of America and that's the spirit of the fire service. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for helping us remember this day and remember the lives lost and the heroism. God bless you and God bless America.
I'm going to challenge you to take just a moment and remember back some of the scenes that you saw as you listened to a song that was written many, many, many years ago about our wonderful country. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. America.
I would like to thank everybody for coming, and God bless America.